Welcome, Low-V gamers. Today we're just going to be going over we're going to open the last three packs of the Time Spiral Remastered that we have. We're going to go over the rares, a little bit that we got, and kind of just talk about and do a review of the set itself. This is one of the arts that was there for it. There was three different arts. I only have three different of the arts. This art left on the packs. Let's go ahead and get at it and see what we get. So the main theme of this set is tribal stuff. One of the big tribes is the Slivers in this set. There's a new kind of tribe that's come out that's the fungus in this set. I haven't done much with those. Another one of the tribes is knights, and that's pretty exciting to see. The knights are getting a little bit more. Oh, nice! Look at that. We got a foil, an extra rare foil on this one. And that's the other rare we got. The one thing that I really like about this set is this artwork on these tokens. It's just incredible. The other thing that they have with these, the other thing associated with the Time Spiral Remaster that's really nice, and something that I would definitely recommend for everybody, is they have a bunch of the newer cards in old borders. This is an example of one that come with like a little purple icon there on the bottom. Some of them will be rare. If the foil ones, these ones are pretty cool looking. I'll show you an example of two of them. But like I was saying, there's a big tribal theme in this set, which is really nice. Slivers is the big one, in my opinion, as far as like what is most prevalent. Knights are a big one in this one too. There's a lot of knights that have flanking. That's a mechanic there. That's pretty fun. In the Time Spiral set, they had two different mechanics that were more prevalent, which is Vanishing and Suspend. What Suspend is you pay a little bit of a mana cost, and you can go ahead and get a card out in a few turns. Hopefully we can pull one. So here's one of the knights that I was talking about. We'll see if we can find a card here real quick that has Suspend for us. Looks like we got another foil, guys, which is really nice. Oh, there's a rare. That is going to be... Oh, look there. There we go. That's an alternate art foil that we got, which is really cool. This is one of the ones I was talking about. It's got a little swoosh down there, and they are reverse hollows, so they're pretty cool. Looking over them. With the different attributes, like I was kind of mentioning, that we have, or the different abilities in this one, it's Suspend and it's Vanishing. Suspend is pay a certain amount of mana. It takes the card out of play for whatever amount of turns. They're exiled, so they're not, which is nice because then they're not going to be affected as much. And then they come back into play at that given time counter once those time counters are up. There are some things in here that can affect those time counters in the game. There's also Vanishing, which is kind of the opposite. You pay low mana, you get a card now, and then in 4 or 5 turns it's gone. Like I said, hopefully we'll see a card here and I can go over that. And I'll have a couple we'll be able to go over here in a minute too. And they got some nice lands in this one. I don't know if you guys can see that. Geez, we're getting lucky. We got three foils in this one. This guy's really cool. Mythic. There's the land, and there's another. There again, another foil for us. So, and there's another one of those tokens. Like I said, the artwork on these tokens is just stay on the machine. It's amazing. It's really nice. So that's the last 3 packs that we just opened that I had left after we did 2 big boxes worth. So I'm going to go over a bunch of the rares here now for that. And we will go from there. Well, let's do this first. We did go ahead, and me and a couple friends did a draft with some of those cards just for the fun of it. With the draft, this is the deck I ended up making. I ended up pulling an Old Border foil land, which is pretty cool. And then I built a bit of a sliver deck because I've been excited about that. I did play this set back Hard Time Spiral when it came out. I played it a little bit because my friend had some and he's the one that got me into Magic, which was really fun to see some of the old cards that he got me into Magic with in this set and kind of do that again. Got a couple rares that I pulled in the draft, which is nice. A rare land, and I did get a rare sliver. They're pretty cool. Here's the rare sliver. The big thing with the slivers that's really cool is pretty much all the legitimate sliver ones, so like the ones that come with the sliver tag on them, have an effect that affects all slivers for those who are unaware of slivers. So as an example, we got this first one here that is all slivers. All sliver creatures get +1/+1. They have a bunch that do like all slivers get +2/+0. Ones give all slivers +0/+2. One is all. One of the rares is give all slivers plus. One of the rares is give all slivers +1/+1 for each other creature type or each other creature with a sliver type on it. There are cards that are shapeshifters in this set. There's cards that give slivers the sliver name type to everybody. So it's definitely a pretty strong set there. All right, let me pull a couple things here. We'll start going over these rares. So here's a bunch of the green rares that I was able to pull earlier on this mythic that we just pulled. Just so you guys know, right now I will be posting one of these guys for sale on my site. They go for about $20. So they're pretty cool. We do have a website up that I will be posting most of these cards, as well as I'm going to be trying to build a couple decks out of the Time Spiral stuff and put those up for you guys to see. I will do some more in-depth deck reviews with that as I finish building them out. It's going to be a little bit though. So this is nice for a token deck. Creatures with no abilities get +2/+2. Most tokens won't have abilities. And we got some of the tree folks here that we got. And then this is a new, not necessarily new, but there's a bunch of these different abilities that like will either cancel or something, but have the condition that they're free. You do them, and your next upkeep you have to pay. If you don't, you lose the game. So they can be pretty risky, but they also have a really good effect on them usually, so they're pretty strong. Shroud is another one of the abilities that is in the set, or Shadow, sorry, which is this creature can't block or be blocked by except by creatures with Shroud, or sorry, Shadow. So that's pretty fun, a mechanic, especially if you have a Shadow deck. They do have some vampires in here, but most of the vampires in this one will have not really vampire related synergy, from what I've noticed here. Split Second is an ability that's newer, not necessarily to this set, but it's faster than an instant, so it will resolve as soon as you play the card. So if you're stacking, this will resolve and the stack will just keep going, kind of a thing. You can't interact with them. You can't counter spell a Split Second. You got some demons, a couple big guys in there. There's another one of the vampires. A lot of them have tokens associated with them. I saw that they'll either create tokens or they'll give +1/+1 counters. Here's another one that you can destroy in black. If you don't pay the upkeep, you lose the game. This is, I think, one of the more featured cards in the set. This is the promotional card that came with it. This isn't the promotional artwork. Well, with this, here's Suspend for you guys. So in this case, you don't pay anything. You suspend it for 3 turns. After the 3 turns, it comes on the field. And this one is you just sacrifice the Lotus, add 3 mana of any color. So sacrifice the Lotus Bloom. So it's pretty decent. This card I was excited to get. It would work. It's going to work really well in an artifact deck. I forget the card that synergizes with it, the name of it, but there's a card that at the end of every, or at the beginning of your opponent's upkeep, so you can untap your own artifacts. And so you could that's one thing I'm looking for, so I can use this and combo this one better. So it's, add a mana of any color. You could tap it to place a charge counter on it, and then at the beginning of your upkeep, so if you're playing with like 4 or 5 people, it will remove all charge counters on it, and you'll get that much mana. So if you can tap it each turn, you get 4 or 5 mana potentially out of it per turn, which is nice. Here's one of the cards that's gonna boost up the Slivers. All creatures are now Slivers in addition to everything else. It is it's not that expensive for 2 mana. I'm probably going to end up running at least one in my Sliver deck, because I will have other creatures that aren't Slivers in there. Here we got a couple more characters. We got some angels. There's a lot of humans and soldiers as well in this one, so there's some soldier synergy. A lot of that soldier synergy also works with the knights in the set, which is kind of nice. There are quite a bit of legendary creatures as well, which is always fun. For those who like to go play Commander, there are a few good options here. When we get to them, I'll point them out. I didn't order everything quite perfectly as far as by color, so we are going to run into some that aren't in their color coordinated areas. I'm still sifting through everything after pulling it the other night. Here's another Suspend where you pay 3 and 1 and X to suspend it. Some of them will interact with that suspend cost and give you better stuff if you suspend versus not suspending. They do have Buyback. They have a few cards with Buyback in this set, which is kind of nice, where you can pay the Buyback cost and after it resolves, it comes back to your hand. There's a Suspend 10 for 1 mana, so that's not bad on turn 1. If you make it to turn 10, you got a big guy instead of having to wait for that mana cost. This card could be pretty devastating, I feel like, in the right deck. Non-basic lands or mountains. So that really just shuts down people who run a lot of special lands and being able to use stuff for them. Here's another Suspend card. And another one. And another one. They're all pretty. I think the Suspend cards are pretty good. They do work well with a lot of different play types, especially if you're early stages of the game and you can't pay the normal cost. That Suspend cost can be worth it quite frequently. I personally think that it is. Here is a lot of the dual colored legendaries in the set. These ones are all reprints of older ones, which is pretty cool because you got some good ones here. I've seen this one played a lot because it is able to just kick out damage pretty versatilely speaking. You got a lot of just different synergies with a lot of these guys here. And here's a bunch of the lands we got. The legendary lands. There's a lot of cool ones here, I think here. So this one's swamp. All lands are swamps as well as their other colors. So if you need black in your deck, this is a good way to pad the black color for you. I'm excited for that. I was excited when I pulled this one here because I am looking towards building a rat commander deck. So this card will go well with my rats because it lets me regenerate them. This one just allows you to create a token as well as just a blank mana. A lot of these ones will do that. We got a foil one of these guys. This one's pretty cool. I'm excited for this one here, guys. What this one does is on your opponent's turn, at the beginning of the game. If this is in your hand, you can actually play it on your opponent's turn. When you play it on your opponent's turn, it gets a counter on it. As long as it has that counter on it, you can have it be any mana color you want it to be. Otherwise, it's just it's a colorless mana for you. This one is super nice for you guys if you want to end up doing a sliver deck. Like I'm planning on doing. This guy's really nice though. All slivers get +1/+1 for each other creature sliver on the battlefield, which is not just yours, but if your opponents are also having sliver decks, this guy will ramp your slivers up pretty good. Here's another one of the slivers that is there for it, which is, he's not a rare, but it's one. I also put away my foils just to make sure that I had them put away. He's pretty solid for it. He creates 1/1 slivers. He himself is not a sliver, so that's kind of where you can use the other artifact that turns everyone into slivers. But he can create a bunch of slivers, so I think he's pretty nice. If you're not doing a commander deck, running 2 or 3 of those wouldn't be half bad because you could throw out 2 or 3 tokens. And we just got some foil slivers that we've pulled, which is pretty nice. We got another card here that is super solid for monocolor decks. A lot of monocolor decks are also tribal, so this can kind of work for those as well. But clear a color, and then all creatures of that color get +1/+1. And then there's that foil version of the sliver one that I was talking about. And then we got a couple of the foil slivers coming up next here. And it looks like we have, well, I think we pulled most of the slivers in this set. There's a couple that I think I didn't get, which is okay, because I could always go get more. But you got a bunch of the rare slivers here, which there again, they all have nice effects. The rare ones usually have 2 effects for your slivers, where the non-rares won't have 2. They'll just have like the 1 effect on them. So it's nice to have those in the deck. Next up, I think we just got a bunch of our foils that we've gotten here, and then some of the other cards. So a bunch of the foil commons that you can pull, or that I pulled at least. I'm excited on a couple of them, like him. I have a goblin deck that runs this guy. There's some funguses. I want to try that fungus deck because it looks pretty cool. This is a cool card. It's pretty strong too. Haste power with +1/+1 on it when you cast a monocolored spell this turn. So this guy can get ramped up pretty fast. He has haste for 1. So if you're like a spells oriented deck, he's pretty solid there. So that's pretty much all the rares that we got today. These are the ones that we just pulled, or a few of the ones that we just pulled. And so we got lots of good stuff in the set, guys. I definitely would recommend it. It looks like it's going to be really fun to build on, and go from there. So with that, like I said, I'm going to put links in the description to all of our content places. We do have a Facebook. We do have a Discord. They're not really big right now, but we'd love for you guys to join them and start helping build that community. So that, questions, anything like that you guys have, you can ask them there. We can go over everything with you guys and just make it a good little place to go and have a community. It's the ultimate goal there for us. If you guys have questions, comments, just feel free, read them, place them. I'll try to get through and read everything here. And I'll be posting a couple more videos of stuff we did with this particular set. We did, like I said earlier, a big box opening. We do have some of the videos up, but not everything. I'll be working on getting that up here soon for you. Thank you guys for joining, and let's keep gaming and have fun, guys.